wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain, but I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe her, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down. I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to.
All I wanna do is to put rounds around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do need you, I do, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. Oh, I love you, I do need you. Oh, I love you, I do need you, I do, I love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. Oh, I love you, I do need you. All I wanna do is to put my arms around need you. I love you, love you. I do need you. I love you, I do need you.
Hello. Here we are. We're just in a waiting room, just to avoid any possible confusion here. Should I? No, I won't. I won't. I won't. I won't change like the overlay so it doesn't show the scores. Yeah, we're just in a test lobby right now, so don't think we're getting into it just yet. But yeah, we've got the last regional. The last regional, just in general, for half of the regions today, I believe. And then the other half is for next week, of course. Game 0. No, wait, did that actually count as Game 0? How did how did my overlay know? How did my overlay know it was Game 0? That's some interesting. Okay. Well, looks like we're ready to go. Obviously, last regional was not what White Rabbit wanted. Thus, they now basically have to do the impossible. They have to go all the way, maybe win the regional, get second, something extravagant like that, in order to actually make the World Championship. So they are kind of in a situation where they have nothing to lose, unless you see it as a situation where they have all the pressure on them. But it's going to be a hard road for them, so I think the best idea here is to just take the approach of we've got nothing to lose. And I think that'll progress them through the bracket a bit further than otherwise. But yeah, we got our winners round 1 matchup here against Unity. Unity, of course, I've casted I think once before, and they're getting this first goal here as well. I think that's the R2D2 decal in as well, which actually kind of looks fairly nice. But Unity, I know last play they reverse swept Digital Devils, but I think that was with Yopego on their roster. Other than that, I think they also had their own kind of disappointing regional last time. Yeah, they got first rounded. Yeah, they did. Okay, so they'll be looking to improve on that. And for our sake, I guess that's a good look for us, you know? First round matchup against a team you'd expect us to win against, though. I suppose you would expect us to win against most teams, regardless. But especially this split in particular has looked like the depth has definitely increased in the region here. A shot just slightly wide here. Wee Casper going again, and that will be in. 1 minute in. You know, they've had to make a bit of a response here because Wee Casper and his teammates didn't have the greatest regional last time, but they're able to come back here early on. Try to just warming up, you know, warming up the axles, warming up the wheels. White Rabbit Gaming again on the orange team. I guess this one's a lot more understandable with Unity. Probably should have used like a different version of that logo in retrospect, but it's too late now. Good chase again. Oh, and a good bump as well on Friction. Chase will be credited with the goal, but realistically it was the bump that did most of the work here. Blade just taking out Friction in the goal. And that's now 2-1 in favor of Unity. It might just be a free shot for Friction. A good save coming out from Chase. There was an attempt at some disruption in offense there, but I don't think it connected, and the shot was not good quite enough to beat the last defender there. Kino might just have an open net here, but seems like the defender was able to get back regardless. Good demo play from Wee Casper. Oh, some miscommunication here. Wee Casper just taking out Friction. But I think he wanted the ball. Here, low boost for Wee Casper. Can't really do too much here in offense. Friction going for the double tap. Tato on the backboard on position. Blade off to the midfield. Nobody quite there. This energy not quite on point. on that one for Unity. Oh, a bit of danger as the drop down came through off the backboard. Friction. Upfield 50, applying a bit of pressure here for White Rabbit. Potato using edge dribble out. Friction collects. 50 to his chase. Not the greatest one, but able to track back there and get a decent 50 himself. Friction now going for the backboard. Potato just about able to get there. A couple of awkward touches here from Unity, kind of working out in their favor. Potato can't get there. It was a low boost. I wasn't too sure where the ball was going to end up, and it might just be an open net. Oh my Jesus, it was a miss. An open net miss coming out. I believe it was Kino, White Rabbit. They should have definitely tied things up there. Unity now on the counter attack. Played up for this 150 with Kino. Friction over 1. Kino now in a 1v1 scenario, only able to get that 50, but the teammate is there. He gets the follow-up. Oh no, and it's wide. White Rabbit Gaming. What on earth is going on? The 50 came through from Kino. He could have tried to 1v1, but the 50 worked. Your double tap will come through from Wee Casper. There we go. Eventually, we tie things up. Wee Casper in particular, also last regional, really impressed me, and he's kind of continued to do so here. Other than the open net glaring miss earlier on, after Kino was able to get that decent 50 back to him, he put it on the backboard, which he could have probably scored on his own, and then missed the read as well. Well, he got the read, but didn't put the shot on target. That's what I'm implying there. There we go. That, we've just been warming up. White Rabbit Gaming, we're just warming up. We let 2 goals in. We're trailing for the most of the game. But if we win it in the end and I keep the momentum going, then it's like nothing happened. We can just ignore that. Now in the blue half here. Can't do too much. Play with the clearance. Goes no further than Wee Casper. Gets it past 1. Tries to get it past another. Actually, I definitely think the Unity player there should have definitely at least done something. Not Kino. Wee Casper is allowed to be on the ball a bit too long there, and could have actually been a good play. But luckily for Unity, it didn't come together in the end. Friction just about first to that one. Keeps up the pressure here for White Rabbit. Friction low boost. And subsequently, White Rabbit will be facing the pressure now. Oh, just about saved by Kino. Thought that was going to be a lot more comfortable than it ended up being. Chase here going for the redirect. Just about whiffs that one. Your last second counter attack. Wee Casper there for the shot top corner, and it will be an awkward bounce as we go into overtime. Friction able to get it back right. Kino a little bit awkward here. We'll have to use a lot of boost for that one. Potato following up, going for the double tap off targets. Almost for Potato, the individual brilliance coming out. Going for that backboard. Friction is out for the shot and top corner overtime. Exactly like I said, they just rode with the momentum, and now we can just ignore that first half of the game, more than half of the game, where we were trailing. It doesn't matter. We close it out. We close out game 1, and now momentum will continue to be in our favor moving on. And look at that as well, the shot count definitely supporting White Rabbit Gaming in being the better team here overall, which is a good sign. Last time the shot counts for White Rabbit weren't actually that great. Usually the better team on average tends to be the one with the higher shots, and last time, even against teams that were not that great, our shot counts weren't that high, if I'm remembering that correctly. Remember, even against Apex, the 2 games that we did win were kind of, not undeserving, but kind of upset wins, really. If you look at how the games played out. They're an early good sign, but we do still have to continue to see it in this series, and then against better teams as well. Might just be a goal here, just slightly off target. Kino, rebound as well, saved yet again by Unity. Wee Casper getting a couple good touches in offense. Sort of just disorientating the defense, but not quite dismantling it. Kino now, off to the corner. Some midfield friction there, but actually it turns out to be a double whip. Casper going for the double tap. Kino a bit too close there. I do think he was expecting at least a bit of a softer touch there in the end from Casper. Friction hopes to go for the boost play. The clearance not too great. Casper will be first to it. Let's see that attempt. I think it was Potato for the chain wave dash. I respect it. So they didn't quite get it down as of yet. Maybe they'll become more common in the region at some point. Casper going for the psycho. Not quite. Doesn't quite get it. But I respect it. You know, you gotta respect it. When you're flying to your own goal, looks like you're double tapping. You just have to psycho it, right? Like there's just no other choice. You gotta do it just in case if you're able to pull it off. Well, not literally, but you know, maybe that's just a me thing. Potato able to get this one midfield blade there. Friction with a stop. Chase as well in midfield, but didn't have quite the greatest 50. Just ball chases on that play. Ends up working out. Kino a little bit awkward there. Definitely closer than I was expecting. But the save came through in the end. It doesn't matter how close the save is, guys, as long as you make it. Played a little bit awkward here. Challenge should be coming in. Friction off to the side. Casper. A little bit too awkward for that one. Chase, low boost here, can't do too much. Kino just clears that one out. It's been an even game so far in game number 2. And Unity have had their fair share of opportunities here, but they haven't been the most effective. So they haven't quite been controlling the game either, I wouldn't say. Kino off to Casper there. Tries to sling it, but just didn't get the accuracy on it as he wanted to. Here, ball in the midfield. Might be a shot here. Doesn't look like anyone in White Rabbit is in position. But the clearance, I think Unity really did think themselves that there would be someone there. And up just kind of clearing it out of panic here. Good, decent shot from Friction into the bottom corner. I think there might have been some type of demo involved, but I'm not sure for who. I think it might have actually been the defender getting a demo. Yeah, it was. That ended up being pointless. Why is Kino got the Apex tag? I'm not too sure. I don't have the inside info on that one. Kino up in the air here. Chase. At least able to somewhat force Kino to do something there. That's always important, having someone to force something out of someone. Casper tries to get it to Kino there, but neither of them really quick enough on that one. Friction completely alone in defense, going for a very slow play there, but luckily Casper back in defense. Kind of have to pre-jump for that one. Coming a little bit too close for comfort here for White Rabbit, but a good pass and a good shot as well from Casper. Assisted by Friction here. Chase, a little bit awkward there, and Casper just ends up having an open net. Yeah, but just generally speaking, I have to say, pretty smart game plan, you know, for this series in particular. You know, you don't really have to worry that much about retaining your offense against a weaker team like Unity, in comparison at least to White Rabbit, just purely because their opportunities are not that likely to be that great. So if you trust in your defense, then more likely than not, their opponents will eventually make that mistake themselves on the other end, or somewhere in midfield that kind of allows you to have a fairly easily scored play. And that's kind of what's going on here as well. Your decent 50 from Casper, slightly off the mark. Decent speed there from Blade, beating out Kino. Casper going in the air. Keeps that one up, air dribble, flip reset as well. Kino just waiting on the backboard, but no, realistically, if there was some type of communication there, surely there would have been either communication of, okay, I'm putting this one on the backboard, or I'm going solo, or whatever. But, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point. You got 50 seconds remaining. Weak we're going for that redirect off the backboard. And a fairly comfy lead here. It's a dangerous lead. A 2-0 lead will always be that one awkward lead where you could really concede at any moment, and then some late momentum could force that into a tie and into an overtime. But it won't be the case here. And White Rabbits on a triple match point now against Unity. Chase with the regional champion title. Correct me if I'm wrong, is that from being a substitute? Because I don't remember him starring on any like real contending teams. So correct me if I am wrong. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, by the way, how we doing, guys? How's the people of the chat doing? Oh, we got game 3 starting up now. DFH Stadium. The classic, of course. Chase was on ice. I know that much, but I didn't win any regionals, did they? Because I think I remember him being on ice. No, I'm not sure if he was a sub or not, but Casper trying to be a bit too fancy than what he's capable of on a consistent basis there. Oh, good passing from Kino off the Casper. Good defense there by Potato, cutting that one off before it gets too dangerous. Good pass by Friction. Kino there for the shots, beautifully done. White Rabbit Gaming really showing their class. What a pass from Friction. Kino, you just had to get there in time. Chase here with a big clearance. I do love that decal. We are 2-1. Casper trying to get this one wide to teammate, but Chase ends up being first to it. Later, clearance down midfield, and those are dangerous when you're not actually getting that one to a teammate. Chase was on 0 boost, so it wasn't a viable option there. Blade just ends up giving that one away. Decent pre-jump there from Potato. Ends up being useless in the end. Casper lays this one off for a teammate, Kino. Works as a pass here, Friction there. Casper will have the open net, and that's 2-0. Very comfortable situation right now for White Rabbit. Where they took that game 1 where they started off slow. Game 2, overall, even game for the first bit, but then overall became a lot more comfortable in the end. And it's really transitioned well going into game number 3 so far. Really looks like Unity, they're just trying to scramble, just clearing things out, but not really getting too much offense as of right now. Decent speed there as well. Someone can turn that on that in time. There might be a goal here. Friction going in for a shot behind Potato, but just about able to backflip and get a touch on that. But Unity definitely a bit stuck in defense here. Casper able to 52. Potato with some good speed there, but Friction able to force it wide. And I'm really a big fan of this, because always whenever I see a poor result come through from White Rabbit, and there haven't really been that many. You know, our last regionals result was kind of what you call it, an anomaly for their standards. A decent attempt here by White Rabbit, but again just a little bit too wide. Potato might just have an open net. No, good challenge coming in from Friction. But it's particularly last regional, you know, even the games against the lesser teams, they were scrambling all of them, but looks like in this one they're making it a lot more comfortable now. I was kind of worried in game 1, but they looked a lot better in that latter half of that game, and they've definitely cleaned things up very well. I couldn't pronounce that word correctly apparently. I became German or something like that. Very well. It's looking a lot better than last time, which bodes well for their next series. They won't have to, well, they might not have to scramble upset wins early on to give them a chance of winning the series against some of the other top teams. And players like Eli definitely making Apex very much a threat. Here, just a great play by Potato. He does it all on his own. Goes for the ceiling, gets a second touch. You can call that a double touch if you will. On target. Friction did not have the respect for it. And there you go. A bit of a lifeline. You know, there's a bit of time, but really not too much here. A minute 40 for Unity to get 2. So the perfect time to score for them. I have to say, all momentum has been against them for the past 10 minutes pretty much. And another counterattack goal. Kino will secure the lead back again. The 3-goal lead, to be more specific. And then there goes the hopes for a Unity comeback. Potato really trying to show off his mechanics there, but only able to really beat one, and then again I cannot beat anyone else, and then the counter attack comes in again for White River Gaming, which again resulting in another goal again. I don't know why I decided I don't want to say that word so many times, but I just did. Come on, Potato. What's the next freestyle move? Because I think they've kind of accepted that they've lost this series, so maybe they're just going for some consolation prizes, you know what I mean? Oh, what a flipper shot from Wee Casper! But Chase just had to save it, didn't he? He just had to save it. That was not allowed. Friction. Decent touch, but a good read from Blade. Blade there. Obvious passing option, but Potato can't quite get the lateral pass in there. A very important quality to learn as a Rocket League player is really being able to put those a lot more midfield than just kind of in between the offensive player and the midfield. If you can get it a lot more direct, a very, very big asset to add to your game here. Friction just gonna troll that one open. I guess it doesn't matter because we have just 50 seconds remaining here, but it's always funny to mention. Yeah. I was about to say in my head that generally speaking Blade has impressed me throughout this series, but well, I think that does the talking. Look at the pressure from Chase. I respect it. Gotta hope for something, right? Alright, well that's a 3-0 sweep, everybody. White Rubber Gaming getting a clean first series. As I said in the first game, if they just get that last goal to tie things up, win in overtime, and they win that game, and they do well for the rest of the series, that never happened. And as you can see, it counts as a 3-0 sweep. Nobody will remember that first half of game 1. Nobody will remember that. Alright, well, that's a good start. Okay, how's the other series going? Obviously, we won ours 3-0. Good old sweep for the White Rabbit Gaming against Unity. In the meantime, Nixa is playing Astronic, according to Wikipedia. They're tied 1-1. Apparently, to Wikipedia, White Rabbit are also tying 1-1. Which is not correct, because we did not drop a game. We did not drop a game. Oh, it's because they got jinxed out. They got jinxed out by the whatchamacallit, the test lobby, didn't they? They must have gotten jinxed out. Well, that is unlucky. That is unlucky. Well, anyways, I will be going to a little be right back screen whilst we wait for our next series. Most likely against Nixa, though no guarantees there. So hopefully we'll see you there. We'll be right back.
Burning like a sun, loyal as a soldier, nailing at the stars, hoping that we'll be right. We'll be right. You'll be home. You gotta help me out, help me out. Riding coasters to dream your eyes. You gotta help me out, help me out. Swim in oceans to breathe your life. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Ticking like a bomb, falling in motion, center of the stage, hoping that we'll be right. Back again. You gotta help me out, help me out. Riding coasters to dream your eyes. You gotta help me out, help me out. Swim in oceans to breathe your life. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. When it's coming at you like monsters in the night, and you feel the danger that makes you wanna hide. When the cards are stacked against you and you're standing on the edge, now's the time, now's the time. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 When you're falling faster and don't know where you are, you feel the danger closer than your heart. When the weight is getting heavy and the future is unsteady, close your eyes, close your eyes. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 was just to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the putting in the
Can you feel it? The fire in your soul, leaping at the chance for love. Can you feel it? Haunting your senses, letting all your feelings go. But I can feel it rushing through my veins. Your love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing the hand now we're dealt, so we can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel it for you inside, so there won't be nothing tonight. came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through, claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance, show me that you mean it, we'll feel some type of way. Why do you keep chasing clouds? Gotta live before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. I said, why do you keep chasing clouds? Gotta live before I feel something.
Hello, we have entered the waiting room again. You know what's crazy? The Earth is a ball. Okay, interesting conversations that we're having in the waiting room. It says game 1, it's not game 1. It's waiting room. Can I make it say game 0? You know, last series it somehow said game 0. But I have no idea why. It'd be beautiful if I could just make it say game 0. I can change it to a best of 0. Best of 0. Which makes complete sense. Game 1, best of 1. Best of 3, how does that even work? Wait, sorry. Best of 3 update, does that fit? Yeah, it does, okay, nice. But a best of 1, it doesn't cover the whole thing, does it? It does not. Alright. Well, there we go, that was the test lobby. That was the test lobby. Love a good test lobby. We do love ourselves a good test lobby. Let's go, WRG. Let's go. Let's go. Switch and Sephi, what's up? Yeah, we just swept Unity in a nice comfy series. But now we've got a very exciting series coming up. Nixa currently number 2 in the standing, so they're currently in the position to make the World Championship as a number 2 seed for the SSA region. This split so far, French class has been that number 2 team, but as of right now, Nixa are at the point where if standings don't change throughout this event, they make the World Championship. 3rd place Pirates, 4th place French class, the team that has been on an uprise this split thus far, and then right behind them is us. So this could be an important series, of course, for us as that 5th team on the standings right now. We do have to have an incredible regional, you know, to qualify. Maybe we have to win. Maybe we just have to get 2nd. I'm not too sure. I think we pretty much have to win. I think, you know, there have to be like 10 upsets at the same time for us to qualify through getting 2nd. So pretty much we have to win, and some upsets probably have to happen at the same time. And Mr. Low, he will start off the scoring for Nixa. Good infield pass there, but as well, nobody really covering midfield there for White Rabbit. it became quite the recurring issue for the last event. We haven't really seen the midfield get exposed that much today as of yet, but first goal against Nixa was just had done just that. In friction to get it to Wee Casper. Early challenge coming out from Skill Steel. Here just Max on, just goes backwards to the challenge there. Akino on no boost, just has to force it wide on not a lot of resources there. And it still works out. Ooh, good demo there from Skill Steel. Nixa, they have a lot of pressure on them. Earlier I just mentioned that French Class has been the team on the rise. I've been outperforming this Nixa side, this split. And I believe if that continues, the same result happens again if Nixa get third or less and French Class get second. I think French Class are going to be able to take it, I'm not too sure. But let's just say that every single series counts. For us, I think a little bit pressure is out of the way here because it's just unlikely for us to make it at this point. But for Nixa, they're in the prime position to do it. Not in terms of momentum, but in terms of current standings. A lot of pressure on them to make sure they perform well here. A good save there from Friction. Was a must score opportunity there for Nixa, but it remains 1-0. As for good control here, it's a high into the air. Leaves it for a teammate there. Kino there for the shot, but Archeon. Is it Archeon? I think it's Archeon. I think somebody corrected me at some point that it's not Arceon. So from now on, I'll probably say Archeon. Landing there on the goal line and getting the save. You're not the greatest touch there, but just about able to get another one there from Mr. Lowe. Archeon upfield, unable to make contact there. You know, making a lot of progress downfield, but in the end unable to defeat the defense. So going wide here. Defense looking a little bit awkward from White Rabbit. Getting a 50 there. Skill Steel first to it after a big whiff coming out. Big clearance here, Mr. Lowe. Able to get it too far. Getting that controlled 50 into the back corner where our teammate is right there. Take control. Another shot coming through. Wee Casper can't to do too much there. It's been a pretty close affair here, but Nixa has been marginally the better team, and Skill Steel with a top corner shot will get that 2-goal lead that they probably deserve at this point. Yeah, another midfield clearance like that. I think maybe he wanted to go for a 50, but opponent just left the ball entirely, and then ended up just being a free pass and a free shot. Should be a kickoff goal here. Kino just about able to get it out, and gets that second one as well. Ooh, Wee Casper, if he was able to get a touch there, there might have been a goal right there. Give a little bit of hope for White Rabbit. In the last minute or so in game number 1. We're currently still trailing by 2. Big clearance from Mr. Lowe. Burning time off the clock to close this one out. Skill Steel. This one midfield, a good save from Friction. Here into the midfield, Kino with a big clearance, Low. Right there. White Rabbit unable to make too much of their plays as of right now. Maybe a little bit too direct to the opposite end. Decent 50 from Friction. When there, Kino has to spend his time controlling that one. Decent pass off to Wee Casper. Casper off to the midfield, but Skill Steel and company in position there to deal with that one. Friction going for a reset. Kino's up as well, but looks like they're not on the same page there. White Rabbit, they have had their fair few of opportunities, but they've not been the best. That's not really deserving of any goals in this matchup. Just 8 seconds remaining here. Nothing has really come of the offense for White Rabbit. Thus, Nixa deserving in his victory, but maybe a consolation goal. No, yet again, Low with another goal line save, and that'll be 1-0 in the series as Nixa sort of strong. It must be the orange team buff. Must be the orange team buff. But yeah, I mean that game is fairly easily explained in terms of White Rabbit Gaming's offense. I think it was just a little bit too direct. Just always going for the simple stuff. You go straight for net or just straight to the backboard rather than looking for that midfield. Though, to be fair, Nixa have defended well, but I'd prefer White Rabbit kind of just taking their time on these plays a little bit more. Just making their plays a little bit less readable, because not necessarily going direct is bad, but it's just I feel like it's basically the only thing that they have been doing, and I mean when you look at the shot count, it's pretty similar to the opponents, so it's not really like this has been a one-sided affair, offensively speaking. But when you look at the save count as well, the defense has not been that great for White Rabbit. You look at both goals really, and they're mainly mistakes. Big glaring mistakes. Technically you can count every goal as a mistake from the opponents, but these two goals were glaring mistakes there. I'd say the first one, probably Kino going for that corner boost rather than just kind of sticking around when, you know, that man back post can't really cover that midfield without really leaving a gap open. So making sure that all angles are covered really was a big issue for that goal. And the second one, it was just a poor decision there to pass that one midfield, because when you pass it, when you try to clear it softly, especially when it's softly down the midfield, usually the first one to it will always be the other team, unless you have a teammate right there. But you're definitely gambling if you're doing that, unless it's all calculated. You already knew your teammate was there for one reason or another. So pressure, not the issue for White Rabbit. So if they're able to fix their actual the type of chances they're creating and fix their defense up a little bit, can definitely take this series. It's been a tight one so far. In game number 2 in Forbidden Temple, be Casper. Wait for a pinch here, but able to do so. Archeon will try to control this one out. We'll get a pinch as well, past one. Christian taking his time. We Casper awkward here, but first to it. Gets a second one as well. Some good defense by him. Friction goes wide here. Almost gets a redirect, but a double misread from him and the opponent there. Double save pretty much from Kino and Friction. A little bit of panic settling in for that one. Kino getting one reset over one. Low. Trying to get a controlling touch. 50 came through. Friction. Instantly challenged there by Archeon. Doesn't make too much of it. Now we go the other way again. We Casper. Not the strongest touch. Gonna be awkward here for White Rabbit. Archeon gets this one wide. Nobody really making too much of their attempts so far in game number 2. As things remain 0-0. Oh, Friction might just have an open net, and he does! Right there, I thought it was going to be crossbar and out. But Skillsteal just a little bit too awkward here and misses the ball. Friction, he read it. He has given White Rabbit Gaming a 1-0 lead. Half of the way game 2 through. I don't think that was like a proper sentence, but my brain couldn't connect the words. Good demo there by Skillsteal, but matters not. It's Kino now going for the musty, goes for the backboard here. We Casper almost makes the read. Just barely not connecting there. Friction off to the midfield. Archeon had it red. Another midfield clearance there, though, from the other side this time. Both Friction and I'm not sure who else it was, but White Rabbit Gaming wanting the same boost there. Generally speaking, if you can have the player rotate out and get that boost, it's definitely better to do that rather than the player actually going for the ball going for that boost or rotating back. They probably have other options, whereas the player who's right there, trying to rotate back, he has like no real other good options by that point at least. But it's all fine. Remain 1-0 in the lead here. Skilled Steel just can't get a hold of that one. And we go into Nixa territory. Friction. Beaten in the end by Scale Steel in defense. Awkward touch here. Friction's there. One to beat low. A little bit too awkward into the midfield. Nobody's there. Nixa, they get away with it. Scale Steel onto the midfield. Nobody there again. Maybe the touch was not as central as the teammates wanted. And there, the defense really awkward. And Kino makes sure to capitalize on that one. Archeon gets a decent touch there, but then doesn't follow it up and doesn't get their best recovery. Nobody else can get there in time. And this time, it's Nixa, the ones that really defensively have not been on point. Pretty much the exact opposite of game number 1. Friction. White Rabbit always good at keeping the pressure. They've done that well in this game as well, forcing out a mistake or two from Nixa. Though I suppose you wouldn't really expect them to make the mistakes that they have. Regardless, here, smart touch there from Kino, making that one awkward for the opponent. Shot comes through, top corner, just slightly wide. Now 5 seconds remaining, nothing that they really can do to get 2 goals here. But yeah, that touch earlier from Kino, really smart. Everybody was really covering high, nobody challenging. So he just went low, and a bounce, very awkward one to deal with as well. So some intelligence definitely being shown there from White Rabbit. And a good display from them in game number 2. And for Nixa, I'm kind of worried for them because they really did not set up that many interesting plays, and in defense they looked pretty shocking in this one. I guess it was just like mirrored from game 1, but I feel like this game was worse from Nixa than ours was last game. Ba-ba-da-ba. Predicting a 3-1 victory here for White Rabbit personally. Maybe that's just me though. Maybe that's just me. Okay. Alright. Everyone's joining now. Momentum definitely in favor of White Rabbit Gaming as of this moment. Looking to have more of that throughout the series. Ball in the midfield, but nobody quite there for Nixa. We guess we'll just have a free ball realistically. Kino, good speed there from him. It's this one in the midfield, but Friction isn't there in time. Had to cut that one wide and a little bit too late here. Recaster might just have an open net, but he misses a double tap. Doesn't get that one on target. Friction, at least applying a bit of pressure here. Make sure to stay around here as well. Gets that 50. Casper We'll probably have to do a bit of work there. Good job there from Friction to stay in the play on low boost. Casper was the only one back, so realistically he didn't want to be the one that commits. And there it goes. Well, an open net. Kino make sure to get that one in. They got that one in. That one in. I'm pretty sure he was shake on this one as well, because it wasn't the cleanest shot, but it didn't matter. The whole team knew it was open. He just had to take his time, and that's exactly what he did. 1-0, 1 minute in. The White Rabbit. Kino, we'll call that the fake. Archeon going up high, but doesn't really get control of that one. Friction beaten out there. In pure speed, a big whiff coming out, big shot as well, and Kino's not in position. The team was not expecting that one. And Archeon, again, did not have to do too much here. Just about able to beat the defense. Tough goal to take there after a good start here. Friction, just a big clearance, and that's just gonna go straight in. He saw the net and he went straight for it, all the way from his own half. Must have been a big kick-off mistake here. I mean, surely somebody's back. Skill steal, I'm looking at mainly there, if I had to make a guess. Maybe comms just not on point here for Nixa. Casper just about doesn't get that one on target. Kino there as well with a shot, but Archeon unable to stop both. Mr. Low taking his time here in the corner, gets it past one. Casper there, 50 by skill steal. Kino going for the flip reset, tries to get it in a dangerous area. Low first to it. Now in blue territory here, easy save for Casper. Archeon. This is one on the backboard. Decent touch there from Friction. Kino there as well, making sure that after that, just not really an ideal 50, just making sure that he's speeding into the midfield, making sure that player going for the shot can't get there in time. Double save coming out from, or double commit save rather. Casper there, great job, just kind of bolting on that play, but the opponents can't really judge where you're going to pre-jump it. That's a good save as well. Alleviating a bit of pressure here. Couple efforts here from Nixa, but White Rabbit just saving all of them at the minute. Casper, a decent dunk here. Oh, going for a shot, not asking too many questions there of the defense. Nixa offense lackluster in this game. Decent flick here. Kino just about gets that one wide. Good 1v1 defense from Kino there, but Low just a little bit too fast. Just about able to tie things up. A lot of pressure, to be fair. A lot of pressure coming out from Nixa in this game. And eventually, someone beats someone. And that'll be a goal for them. And that's kind of what you're waiting for when your offense hasn't really been that great. If you have a loss of it, eventually you'll have the boost amount where you beat that last defense to that ball and you basically just have an open net shot. That's exactly what happened there. Oh, Casper going for almost the most incredible own goal. But it won't go in the end. Skill steal a little bit awkward here. Friction on the counter. We'll just apply a bit of pressure here as in the end it was a little bit too awkward to make anything effective. Low here. Going for that backboard. Zero boost. Can't get really too much on it. Casper. Well, good demo here from Skill Steal. Good pass from Archeon. Skill Steal right there, but again, both demos coming out from each side. Oh, Low just about gets to that one, looking a little bit too close for comfort. Same with Skill Steal. but Demo's opening up the play a little bit for both teams. Kino, waiting for that flip reset, skill still had it red. Friction, good pass there, Kino's right there and he gets it there in the near post. Beats the last defender, 20 seconds remaining. And they've regained the lead. A good attempt by Archeon to save it on the near post, but I think he ends up sort of own goaling it, pinching it with his corner, with his post rather, which was basically perfectly struck there from Kino. And now 15 seconds remaining. White Rabbit, they have to park the bus. Not literally, but they just have to make sure to find a way to maintain this lead for just a little bit more time here. Here low, and it gets pushed down by Friction, and that'll be that. 2-1 in the lead in the series for White Rabbit Gaming. WRG getting some momentum going here. I've already said it earlier on that they're looking a good amount better than the last regional, and they're really proving it here on match point against Nixa. Just one win away from progressing and taking down the current number 2 team in the region. I mean, if you're gonna start, if you're gonna start Magical Story, this might be where it starts, you know. This would be the perfect way of starting it. Looks like Knicks are gonna take a little bit of time here to kind of stop the momentum that White Rabbit have gained throughout the series. Look at the ping as well from Nixa. That's a 888 ping. That has to be a LAN thing. Not a LAN thing, a bootcamp thing. Into game number 4 we go. In Utopia Coliseum. Dusk, I believe. Good kickoff here to start off for Nixa. Defended well by White Rabbit. Big demo there as well. Oh, big whiff coming out. Could have been a very good opportunity. Friction going for that double tap, but yes, low ends up being in position there. Pass with a good beat. Nobody can get there in time on the side of White Rabbit. In a very close affair between these two. But from this point on, every game could finish off the series. I say every game, this or next, really. Other than that, there won't be any other more games. You know, they're first to it. Awkward here. Kino looking for that bump, but was just a little bit quick to it. I really appreciate the disruption attempts made by White Rabbit. Kino going for that boost game there, trying to starve the opponents. A good fit midfield pass there as well. Great play from Kino. Friction does the job, and that's an incredibly smart play there from Kino, just trying to boost off the opponents, knowing that if he goes for that corner boost, the opponents will have a more awkward time. Notices the midfield pass being completely free, which usually comes with that lack of boost from the opponent's side, as that midfield gets a lot more open once you get a lot less boost. Your positioning kind of gets compromised in the process. Now White Rabbit Gaming deserving of their 1-0 lead so far in game number 4. Friction, decent speed here. Getting a good 50 there. Weak Casper. First to it now. Doesn't get the heaviest touch. I always hate those when somebody comes flying in and both opponents basically end up missing in the process. Here, decent shot there from low, but it's not fast enough, and defender's perfectly in position. Using 50 Archeon. Going low here. Weak Casper just about gets a touch there. It's always funny as well when you see someone go for an absolute bagging clear and they end up just kind of just about rotating outside of the ball. Casper tried to go for a bump attempt there, but Skill Steal just stayed low, but Kino came in for the challenge and got him in the end. Oh my, just a triple commit there, 2 missing, Friction backed out just in time to get something off. It wasn't too much in the end, a good bump play there as well. Now Archeon just way too direct here. It's actually the opposite story. It's just Nixa, their offense has just been very, very lackluster. Not a lot of creativity used in it. And the mechanics don't really look like they're adding too many options for them either. Your Scale Steal not threatening too much there, though after that demo did a lot more than I was initially expecting. White Rabbit currently just have a bit of a mechanical and offensive diff on them. Really being the difference between these two as of right now. Archeon again, look at that, just can't really control the ball, and on that boost you really should be able to at this level. Perhaps the pressure is kind of plaguing their mechanics here, plaguing their confidence. Somewhat of a pinch coming out from White Rabbit. Now 50 seconds remaining, ball into the midfield, Friction is there, he doesn't really get a shot off, he basically passes it again, but at that point I really don't think he should be passing. And Weak Casper didn't want to commit either. Good on him for that. You know, no need to do that when you're 1-0 up here. 30 seconds remaining. Low trying to start something up here. Weak Casper puts this one wide. A little bit awkward for him to follow up. Your clearance. Friction does exactly that as well. A great dunk there as well, just to burn a bit of time off the clock. Kino doesn't get it too far, but gets another touch. Again, burning time off the clock. 10 seconds remaining now. Nixa, they have to score to stay alive in the upper bracket. Casper goes for that midfield. 2 seconds left. Kino puts this one high, low with a clearance. Weak Casper there, doesn't hit the ground as of yet. Low, another clearance here, Friction. Here's it out and into midfield. Archeon keeps this one up and eventually hits the ground. White Rabbit Gaming, they defeat Nixa. They defeat the number 2 team in SSA to progress to the upper semi-finals. What a great series there from White Rabbit. You could really see it from earlier on in that first series. Already against Unity. And Unity, you know, realistically, you should expect to beat them as White Rabbit Gaming somewhat easily. Not necessarily a 5-0 every game, that's not what I'm implying here, but you don't expect them to put much of a challenge against White Rabbit, but you could really see in the way they were playing that if they played at least similar to that level against a good team like Nixa, that they could definitely win that as well, and it's shown here. Oh my, and that's technically now day 1 done for us, because the upper bracket semis are only for day 2s, unfortunately. So that's our broadcast done. We don't have to worry about the lower bracket. We don't have to worry about that. The excruciating lower bracket. And that is definitely cool. But White Rabbit tomorrow at 19:30 CEST, which is the same time for SSA, as well as 18:30 for BST for your English viewers. White Rabbit will be taking on French class in the upper semis. So if you want to follow White Rabbit even more, further into this event, then make sure to catch that at that time. But until then, our stream is going to be done. It'll probably be on the main stream, I would assume. I don't think they have a B stream. Yeah, it would be on the ACGL SSA broadcast for RLCS. But we're gonna be dipping out. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to White Rabbit for allowing me to cast these events. Previously with Timmins as well, of course. And it's been a fun time casting them for regionals here and there in the season. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.
Hey, they screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here, now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here, now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm